Hello there everyone and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program Flier's Ed. And as always, I'm here with Mr. Pfister, our instructor.
Hello class, how are you today, sir?
Fairly well, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Let's do a brief review session for the viewers. Tell us what we're looking at.
We are looking at a normal projection of the system showing Kerbin and the moon. And we currently have Kerbal Station 1 highlighted, and we're getting ready to send the fueling station to the moon.
All right. So let's cut here. When we come back, we will we'll probably record the last half of the transfer just in case. But assuming everything goes according to plan, our viewers will join us in lunar orbit and we'll prepare for our claw docking with Donor Rescue.
Exactly. See you in a second. Well,
ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the lunar sphere of influence. And we've been in the sphere of influence for maybe like 10-12 minutes game time. And we've been tweaking with maneuver nodes. This maneuver node is 15 minutes away. It's approximately 3 seconds at full blast. And as we maneuver the camera around, what we've done is we've positioned our projected hyperbolic periapse on what is as close to an intersect as I've seen on a first pass. And it's also at an ascending... No, this will actually be a... Yeah, this is an ascending node.
No, this will be the descending node.
So that way we can... This will be the
Yeah, because we're coming down, right? Isn't that how we read it?
Well,
you're going from above the target orbit to below. Isn't that descending?
You know something? I think you're right.
Yeah.
Because... At any rate, ascending and descending are very easy to screw up, and unless you're actually with real-world physics, they become more important because you have to deal with Lagrange points and other things that are not very well modeled on the single-body physics system that Kerbal Space Program has. If this were an n-body system, ascending and descending would be a little bit more significant. But be that as it may, I think this is our burn because we're going to harvest back a lot of our delta V costs for our plane change, for our maneuver, by combining maneuvers. You'll notice in our precise node calculator, we're inputting 13 positive meters per second normal, 10 negative meters per second radial. That's an absolute sum of 23 meters per second. But it only because we're combining vectors, it's only a fuel cost of 16.4.
Yeah. Efficient transitions for the win.
Yes. So, let's set this alarm.
Yep. Done and done. All right. Warp is on. And it's going to drop us right down. And we're going to be doing this pulse in just a second here. Okay, so delete. And we're 56 seconds from our node, so we'll wait right till the...
real quick, go to the craft and set the govern the thrust at 40-something%.
Good idea.
That'll work.
Good enough. SAS.
Position on the node.
Yeah, I neglected the SAS when I was setting it, so it drifted a bit on us, but that should be okay now.
The estimated burn calculation is still 3 seconds because it hasn't taken into account our engine throttle change.
Yeah. Good to know. So we'll want to start it probably at about T-minus 10.
Yeah,
you think that
9 or 10.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, then we will pulse it up in just a second here. Oh yeah, it's only a 9-second burn, so piece of cake. It's about as good as it gets.
What was the advantage of limiting our throttle?
A lot less room for error and much finer control, because the throttle thing when you hit the shift or control key to throttle up or throttle down, it's proportional to the total engine power. If you've got 30 mainsail engines, you've got very limited fine control. If you've got one engine limited to 40% of its normal throttle. 100% of this is only 40% on that thing.
Yes, it increases throttle position, which increases margin for error, because what it does is reduces opportunity for error.
Yeah. And gives you finer control, because when I did the one tap tick to get us our final push, it was only going at less than 0.1 meters per second velocity change, which is really much finer control than I'm accustomed to without the thrust limiters.
That's called throttle precision, or less commonly throttle resolution. Just the same way as you would describe visual resolution on a computer monitor.
Ah. Right, that makes sense. All right, there we go. Now we're getting... Is that a little more what you were looking for when we talked about having a sending node close to the periapse apoapse?
Yep. Let's make sure that our node is timed well as it sits right here.
Yeah, I'm just a little... Now, do you think burning close to the periapse or close to the descending node is more useful?
Close to the node.
So that's...
And now on single ticks, let's start giving ourselves some positive normal.
Actually, hold on. Wouldn't it make more sense to have it right in the middle? I'm just looking at... Where's... That's where you want it, right?
Let's first set the current burn node at the current descending node.
Okay.
By moving it over and positioning the projected apoapse at the projected ascending node, that sets us up for an inclination burn way out there at ascending node, which would be great, other than the fact that I want to start manipulating our normal vector here. We might be able to set ourselves into an immediate rendezvous.
Okay, yeah. All right, so should I keep bringing the apoapsis down, or are we going to play with...
No. Let's play with normal vector right now. Yeah.
All right. We're only going to probably need one tick at a time here. So we're currently at 2.4 right now. Oh, maybe a bit more than that. 2.1. Okay, so positive normal is where we want to go. Dang you, Kerbal Space Program, and your labeling system. 1.1.
Let's do it. Let's eyeball it initially, edge on.
That's a good idea. Right.
So we can still see the... Yep. See, that's a visual indication right there, where the node flags just start radiating outward.
Yep. And it says we're at 0.1.
That's about as close as we were able to get it the last time.
Yeah, I mean,
now,
at this point, because it doesn't tell us any more level of precision on our ascending node or descending node on this information here, we really don't have the ability until we do this transition and actually have our... Don't they have inclination? Yeah, they have an inclination in here, which we can fine-tune, but we can't fine-tune it when we're not through a node, can we?
Yes and no. What you're talking about is the fact that Flight Engineer isn't talking to the node engine, I think. So our projected inclination is not something that the Flight Engineer can work with, to my understanding of how Flight Engineer works.
Yeah. I would say 0.1 is close enough to not matter.
Oh, of course. Now let's start applying more retrograde.
And we'll have to do that at 10s because we've got a fair distance to go still.
Now, what's the ascending descending node say? What has this done to our inclination?
0.3.
We can tweak that. Keep going with the altitude though.
Yeah. 10, 48, 13.
Look at the rendezvous markers, the close approach.
We're quite far apart, actually.
So let's start taking away from that retrograde and see what happens to the close approach.
Bump it back up again?
Yes.
It's getting further away. Actually, they're not really changing.
Not really changing? Then, yeah, let's leave it right here for a projected apoapse of about 140.
Yeah, if we leave it there, we're going to wind up with a higher... our overall periapse will be slightly higher than our targets.
Because we don't have much opportunity to go lower. Let us start tweaking with our
Oh, yeah. Okay, wrong direction. We need a little less. Doing it about ticks of...
Nice.
I don't think we're going to be able to get it to 0, because I don't think it ever rounds to 0.
Right. I agree.
So...
I like this burn. Do you like this burn?
I think it's an excellent burn. I think it'll do exactly what we need it to do really, really well. 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Get us into an orbit that's both inclined properly and has some pretty decent opportunities for encounters in the near future.
Nice.
It's a 2-for-1 deal right there.
Let's set our alarm and warp to that node.
Boom and boom. Now, this calculation here will be based off of our thrust-limited engine we used earlier, right?
It'll be based off of, to my understanding, what the throttle is currently set at the time that we programmed the burn node. And you set it back to 100.
That is true. Okay. Then we need to get to our node.
And we also need to F5.
Probably should have done that a little sooner, but...
We're going to F5 the Kerbal out of it.
Yeah, and then we need to pretty much fire the engines immediately, don't we?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, well, then on the node. And here we go. There we go. All right.
I say burn now, yep.
Yeah, already on our way. Oh yeah, I see it dropped down quite a bit, so it was calculated based off of our last use of the engine. Look at that.
Nice. Good to know.
So, good to know indeed, because that makes a massive difference in terms of our calculations.
Well, it also makes sense because oftentimes when, like the first time you access a craft after loading from save at KSC, even if you've saved it, well, right, it'll be division by 0 because it has no data, right?
Yeah. 200. I'm going to slow down a little here. We're getting very close.
Call the ball and cut at your discretion.
Yeah, I can't see.
More important than our apoaps right now is our relative inclination.
Where's our real ascending node? Did we...
I say we're good.
I think we're good. There's no sense in messing around with that 3.3 meters per second. 3.2. Right. Yeah, my engine isn't on, so... Alright. Done and done.
That's F5.
Of course.
Now, Kerbal Alarm Clock was a good luck charm for us. Let's see what it tells us as far as close approach.
Add. Alright, so we're looking for... Boom. Close approach. Orbits to search 6. Add alarm. It says 32 minutes.
Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's mouse over the currently displayed flag.
Okay. Right.
A distance of
337.
300. And of how long out? How far out?
30. Just let me get rid of this periapsis flag. If I can. There we go. 1 hour out.
Okay.
Yeah. It says it's 1 hour out. And so it says that this closest approach is in 31 minutes, which is interesting.
That means we'll be at apoaps because our apoaps is 30 minutes away.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so...
Which means our current orbital period, incidentally, is it listed on Flight Engineer? Should be approximately 60 minutes. What is orbital period? 1 hour and 1 minute, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, when we hit the... Interesting. That's...
We F5'd. We don't have a life support penalty. We're not trying to make
also
another transfer window. So we have good track record from Kerbal Alarm Clock. Let's see what it tells us.
Okay, so we'll go there and see what we got.
Yeah, we already have the
Yep,
we already
we're
have
on our way.
the alarm.
Yep, let's see where it... There we go. Coming in.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense indeed.
What's it?
So we're going to kill... the alarm's going to go off. We're going to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Okay.
F5.
And what does it
let's
want
Alt F5. Alt F5.
Alt F5.
Lunar arrival.
Orange pill lunar arrival. All right. So what's the plan here?
Let's go to target mode on the Nav Ball.
All right.
Let's see. This is the part that's easy to... Do we want to... Blasting toward it would be radial down, which would drive our periaps into a crash trajectory. And is that the retrograde marker right next to us?
Yes, it is.
Let's bring target velocity down to 100. Let's see what that does to our orbit.
That will drop our periaps into the planet.
Not necessarily. Before burning, go back to orbit mode.
Oh, it's prograde. Interesting.
That'll speed us up.
Yeah. Which would actually make sense because our target is going to be ahead of us when we get there, so we want to get there.
No, it doesn't. Because speeding us up is going to increase our orbital period, which will increase our altitude at the other side.
Interesting. Well, we've got a quick save. Shall we see what happens?
Before we do that, let's gather all the information we have available. Let's go back into the alarm clock.
Okay. Add new alarm. Closest target distance.
Yep.
Here we are. Time's another 2 hours away. Okay, so our distance is going to be 268, and it'll take us down to 129 in 2 orbits. Look out a bit further.
Flight engineers should give us information on target orbital characteristics. Under rendezvous display, select ship.
Okay.
Nope.
Kerbal? No?
Nope. Back to target type. Lander. Donor
Donor
rescue.
rescue. There we are. That's what you needed, right?
And their orbital period is 40 minutes. Our orbital period is an hour. That means they're in some kind of resonance. That means for every 60 minutes and 40. So it's like a 2 to a 3 or a 3 to 5 ratio. So we're going to have to bring our apoaps down, I think. Increase the orbit search on... Yeah, we're in resonance. Okay. That was bad, but not terribly bad. Let's let's set an alarm for periaps.
We obviously need orbit view right now because we're doing a adjustment to our orbit, not an adjustment to our relative positions right now.
That's correct. Let's make sure that we don't throw our inclination too far out of whack. I wouldn't think we would. Let's pay attention to our orbital period. In an ideal world, let's get our orbital period to something like 44 or 46 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's not worry about the burn calculator. Let's just do it.
Okay. All right. So our orbital period is currently... Wait, no, that's the target's orbital period. I need our orbital period. There it is. Okay.
Yep. We're looking at orbital period. We're looking at altitude. We're looking at our ascending, descending nodes and relative inclination. We're also visually on the projection screen looking at our approach markers.
Well, I better get this started
then.
Let's see
what we can engineer for ourselves. Yep.
Let's see. Inclination is increasing a bit, isn't it? Or is it stable?
Well, that's not relative inclination.
Yeah. Right. It's pretty stable. I think it's dropping a little. Orbital period is...
All right, cut. let's mouse over the approach flags.
Hold on. I heard something. Something sounded funny there. Let me just have a look here quick. I'm afraid of that. We just ran out of gas.
All right. Kill throttle. Unlock the tank.
Throttle was already killed, and yet the tank's unlocked.
We are at a relative inclination. We increased it slightly to 0.18. We started at like 0.16. That's NBD.
Yeah.
And current altitude, apoapsis. Well, no. Apoapsis height is 69. Periapsis is 14.7. Orbital period of about 48 minutes. We're just coming out of periaps. Go ahead.
We should get a pretty close approach in a few orbits, shouldn't we?
Let's see what the alarm clock tells us.
I was going to say, yeah. Let's get some. So it says we'll be 27 kilometers in 5 orbits.
I like it. For ha-has, blow it out past 6. All right, so
That's
we're in a new form of resonance. Yeah.
Yeah. We're right. That's still, I mean, 20 kilometers is a good distance to be doing our next adjustment.
Yep.
So, all right, alarm on. Alrighty, we are back, and we're almost at a rendezvous, I think, finally.
Yep.
So, what's the plan?
Plan is to cancel out relative speed.
Okay. We are doing that right now. And we're at 3.5 and holding 3. Dropping. I take that back. We're dropping a little right now. 3.3, 3.2, 3.1.
Kill throttle.
Okay.
Aim directly radial downward. Let's chase that retrograde marker onto the pink marker that's currently at the edge of the nav ball.
All right, so we're gonna starting here, and the chase is on.
Further.
Here we go. 1.8.
Follow it, but not too closely.
Yeah, I'm just starting to drift in that direction now. 0.8, 0.7, 0.6, 0.4, 0.3, 0.2. That next I just killed the engines because our next intersect is at 0.2. It's 200 meters.
Fine, but let's line up our vectors.
Okay.
This is the point where our orbital indicators become less and less reliable.
Okay.
Now we're paying attention to the nav ball. We're getting our target velocity down below 0.1 if possible, as close with the yellow and the pink retros as close to each other as we can.
Okay, like so. And I just killed the engines for a second.
And kill.
There. Done.
Current range to target is what?
We're going to have 5 kilometers.
No, current range, not projected rendezvous.
3.2.
All right. Let's reorient. Very good.
Yep. Tumbling, gently tumbling. I suppose I could get rid of this, shouldn't I?
Yeah, let's.
Just realized. Reset the nav ball. There we are. Or do you like that? Actually, a little larger is not bad, isn't it?
I don't think so.
Oh, wrong one. That.
Wrong button.
Yeah, wrong button. Turned the wrong information off.
Yep.
All right, and here comes our target. Relative speed is currently 2.6 meters per second, and we are actually approaching it right now. It just ticked down, but we probably want to go there a little faster, don't we?
Yep, and let's burn offset to pull the yellow onto the pink.
Yeah.
Let's go to chase cam view.
Oh yeah, that's V orbital chase. Whoa. There we are.
V as in very good, sir.
There we are. Okay, let's do a gentle engine pull. Bring it in.
Pull it harder.
Oh. Better? Or a little closer?
Better, but not best. You want to get the yellow circle centered around the pink dot in the middle.
Like so.
We can do
or
more.
A little, yeah. It's actually just starting to wiggle a bit, is what's happening. I think... Nope, that didn't do anything good.
Intentionally pull it across. Don't center it, but pull it on the other side.
There we are.
Further.
That's nice. Further? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's F5. We're entering physics range.
Okay. Whoa. Whoops. Slow down, you. Okay. We are centered. All three markers are centered now.
Let's hard about.
Oh, we want to face. We want. That is a really cool shot right there.
Indeed.
So we want to be facing away from the target for this?
Yes.
Oh, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Okay.
Let's reorient the camera so we can see the bad boy. There we go.
Okay.
Right. Let's get ourselves to within... Let's hope for 300... Let's hope for between 100 and 300 meters.
Sounds good. And then kill a bunch of our relative velocity.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it certainly looks like... Yeah. Well, we're coming down quite nicely here, so...
I like it.
I think we can see the ship now, can't we? I'm seeing sort of a funny flicker in the middle of the marker, which means we've got a ship actually rendered in there now.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what the physics distance is.
Yeah.
At
okay.
2.27 kilometers.
Yeah. 500.
Once we hit 350, give me a quick blast on Z to zero it out.
Okay.
And then we're going to park.
Yep, sounds good. Here we go.
Chase that vector towards, not away.
Nope. Whoops. There we go. We're only a meter second difference now.
Get it down to below 0.3.
That marker is getting really twitchy now.
That's because of the RCS.
Yeah.
All right, let's call it quits at this point. Let us go. Let's just tap time compression real quick.
Okay. Done.
Let's hibernate the engine.
Right. Error prevention. Boom. We are over to RCS. F5.
Let's orient normal, anti-normal. So we're just going to pitch up along the 270 vector. 270 heading line.
Oh, I caps lock. That's why we're not moving. So right to here?
No, towards the horizon.
Oh, right. Horizon, not... Alright, we are still closing on our target. That is a trippy orientation.
It is.
I like it. Cool.
Let's go to orbit mode. Let's reorient to either a heading of north or south.
All right. Well, stop helping SAS. I'm trying to adjust my orbit, not
ruin it, right?
Yeah. Well, it wastes fuel because you fight with it, because you can do a low RCS drift this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
right there.
SAS on, RCS off.
Done and done.
Let's increase the nav ball size all the way up.
Okay.
You see how this anti-normal node is not quite on the 180 heading marker?
Yes, I do. Would that be because there's a slight inclination to our orbit?
Exactly. That is exactly correct. The more inclined your orbit, the more off-kilter the relative normal and anti-normal are from the ecliptic normal and anti-normal. Ecliptic meaning the assumed quote-unquote horizontal, which in our case in this game is the equatorial plane of Kerbin.
Cool.
Let us bracket over to donor rescue, and we're going to F5 the heck out of it.
Okay, F5'd and Alt F5'd. Should we call
Final claw approach.
Final claw approach. Okay.
Let's go to target mode.
Target. Right, it doesn't have a target. Now it's got a target.
Mm-hmm. Let's enable the claw.
Alright. Claw is hiding behind the nav ball. We actually don't need it that big now. The claw is armed.
Let's look at vessel display and engineer.
Vessel.
Vessel. Oh, we got plenty.
Plenty of delta V or fuel to do this?
Yeah. Let us burn towards target until we have a closing speed of approximately 1 meter per second. Now, as we do it, what we're going to do is we're going to chase that yellow vector off the nav ball, and the prograde will approach from the right.
Like so. All right, you know what? That was a little out of control.
Yeah. Let's shut down the radial engines.
Yeah.
And let's thrust limit the center.
Yeah, that scared me.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Problem.
Much better. Come here, you. Come on. Come on.
Get more aggressive with your heading changes.
Yep. Yeah. Come on, buddy.
All right. Kill.
Okay.
Now let's flip 180. Let's point away.
Oh. And drifting.
This is, in my opinion, this is a perfectly fine approach if we had RCS control.
Right.
Since we're not, we're going to try to set it up for just a straight shot in and just ping it with our stinger. And that means that we're going to need to be able to, once we're within maybe 50 meters, we're going to chase this yellow vector as close to the center of the pink indicator as possible.
Okay, so
and we're going to reduce our closing speed to 0.7 or less.
Okay. So very gently, because it's not that far off.
That's right.
Yeah. So yes, you said it within about 50 meters?
Yeah, let's go for 45.
By the time we do the... Oh, there we are. SAS, that should work a little better. Hold your position. That is a really cool looking little gadget. Looks very menacing. So, all right. Coming down 80. 70 coming up.
Watch as we close distance, the two indicators are going to diverge.
Yes,
which is why it's going to be more important to re-merge them.
All right, here we go. I'm going to start the burn now. Okay, give me a little more. Whoa.
That's fine.
So burn more on a little over here.
Nope. Further down.
Is that about where you want to be?
Yep. Let's F5, caps locks, and rotate around. Let's go to chase view. Let's aim straight for the center of the pink.
Okay.
And now we're basically going to perform a slow speed but intentional ramming. We are docked.
That could not have gone better.
Let's F5.
Yeah. I don't even think we hit it that hard, did we?
No.
Granted, okay, so our target relative speed has gone a little wacky here. Is that just because the docking when you're dealing with the claw is a bit different?
Not entirely sure.
Because target has gone...
Our apoaps and periaps haven't really... They're not really fluctuating, so it's not like we're... It's wiggling, but it's not being manipulated. It's not like the game has started decelerating us.
I would say it's the game not being quite sure how to deal with this. So
let's go into and out of time acceleration. Right. Let's fill up all of the tanks.
Okay. I guess it's either that or use the fuel balancer, or what? No, that won't do what we want it to do, will it?
No. Well, it will, but in roundabout fashion.
Okay. Well, I guess we should probably leave it there and do this fuel transfer off camera.
All right.
In preparation for the... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, the inevitable descent down into the depths of doom where we attempt to save our guys.
Finally.
In this episode, we got the orange pill out to lunar orbit. We effected a plane alignment. We rendezvoused. We performed an RCS-less claw capture. And like you said before, I don't think this could have gone better.
Yeah. Other than a couple of hiccups trying to match our orbits, it went really, really well.
So
that orbit
we'll see you in the next episode.
We'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.